Logitech G, and Pay Safeguard.
ESL One Cologne.
Welcome to day 3 of ESL One Cologne over here on the B stream. While we might be on LAN, everything here is on the line. Joining me is Hugo. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm pretty happy to be here. We're in day 3, our final day of Cologne, and of course the final day of the group stage. We're going to be going into the playoffs over the next few in the Laxness Arena, but this is where we culminate our last couple of days, where all the group stage comes to an end, and we find out who's going to be joining everyone in the playoffs. We've already got a couple of teams there, at least guaranteed in that quarterfinal and semi-final spot, and we're going to find out who's taking those higher seeds today.
Yeah, the teams that I think are already qualified. Off the top of my head, I believe it's G2, Astralis,
Correct.
Fnatic, and FaZe, I think, are the
Yes.
4 teams that we have guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. Today, we'll be taking a look to see who bags their spot in the semis and who bags their spot in the quarterfinals, as well as how the rest of it all stacks up. But I think we might have the brackets ready. We can take a look at them in just a minute if we do have them. It's a little bit of improvisation today, Hugo.
Throwing people under the bus.
What can I say? It's what I do best.
Let's talk about the first game of the day, though. That's, I think, going to be the interesting talking point, right? Over on the mainstream right now is Renegades Big. A pretty important matchup because we got Renegades on shaky ground and Big starting to make a bit of a rise with the UK player and the Germans obviously on home soil. But that's obviously going on the mainstream. So we have got, I would argue, a better game.
Yes, we have the old SK org that may have fallen. Now I can assure you they're still made in Brazil. And while they might have cold, an even more chilling wind going to be blowing in from the north, as one of these teams will be heading home and the other will be heading on through to play the winner of that Big versus Renegades game, as I believe. So let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. We can break this one down and see how things have gone over here in Group A. As you can see, the Astralis versus G2 game, that's going to be going on later today. And then we have ENCE versus Na'Vi as well. So, yeah.
Some really interesting games. Like, that Astralis G2 game is so sick, right? We came into this event not really expecting much from G2, new roster. They kind of bombed out at ECS. And then suddenly, as you can see, they took a victory over Na'Vi in the opening game. They destroyed Mousesports, who got knocked out yesterday by ENCE. And now they're up against the best team in the world. This is going to be the true test for G2. And you and I will be covering that game as the second best of 3 of the day, while ENCE and Na'Vi goes on as well on the mainstream. But let's take a look over at Group B as well to see if we can break that down.
Yeah, so as we can see right now, the games that we have going on at the same time, Big versus Renegades and MIBR versus North. We're going to be covering that second one over here on the B stream. They'll be playing versus each other to decide who goes home and who makes it through to the playoffs later on today. A lot of interesting stuff going on here. FaZe versus Fnatic as well. I think that's going to be a very great game to see. Once again, I think we're going to be covering that one as well.
Yes.
So we've been spoilt today with the teams that we have.
We've been given all the upper bracket games, which is very fun. Of course, both those teams have already qualified for the playoffs. The loser of that best of 3 going to be going into the quarters, the winner to the semis. Although Fnatic recently have said in interviews they don't really care about that, the seeding. I think it's so important, getting that spot in the semi-finals, guarantee top 4 finish. You don't have to fight through the quarters where you can easily get a bad matchup versus maybe Astralis if they were to lose their game, for example. And I think that's very important. So I'm sure both teams are going to be looking forward to that game as our final best of 3. But let's stick in the here and the now, Harry. The lower bracket, of course, MIBR, they are, recently joining this new organisation, but they are really going to need to step up to their old form here, because we've got North, the Danish roster, who's been on a bit of a rise lately.
Yeah, they certainly have. They picked up a win back at DreamHack Tour, and as with if you recall, there was that G2 lineup when the French super team, as it was dubbed at the time, was first made. And they went on to have like a series of disappointing events. Then they win DreamHack Tour, and then they started to look a bit better. And then once again, they disappeared. Right? We know how the story goes there.
Classic.
But North, they picked up a win at DreamHack Tour, and they tried to kind of outdo what G2 did last year in the sense that they've been going now from strength to strength, constantly improving. And I think we're in an era where we could theoretically have 3 top Danish teams.
I don't know if this is meant to be our game. Oh. Okay, they've swapped our games last minute, Harry. We've been
That's
informed.
just perfect.
We've all been pranked.
Well,
if anything, I want to do this game more because I want to see how big are going to perform.
And I love seeing the boys. It's such a win-win.
Wow.
I get to see my favourite German-British combo up against my favourite Aussie-Norwegian-American combination.
Well, brought to you by the Prank Patrol, the last-minute switch is on Dust2. We'll break down that veto for you in a sec, but next is breaking down the push of Renegades in the B tunnels. What? 4 kills? Oh my god. Tizian's going to clean up. And Harry, this is just emotional. It's just, I don't know what to say. Everything's just changing last second. And then next gets 4 kills in B. I'm shocked.
Yeah, and people always go on about, you know, script writers at ESL. Let me tell you, right, this is some proof that this is all improv. You know, no one knows what's going on here.
I have no idea.
Well, that's fine. Everyone dies for Renegades. No kills come through because Nex is an absolute goblin. Just picking up kills left and right inside of the B-bomb site.
And one thing as well, for our lovely observer, whoever that is today, if you could reset the X-ray, because again, it has bugged. Thank you so much. But yeah, we'll break down the map veto when we have that for you guys. Of course, we weren't really sure that this was going to be coming through. Big picking Dust2, Renegades going for Train, and Inferno is left over. Big have proven to be very, very strong on this map as well, so I'm actually quite excited to see how they can bring their performance into this one today. Smooya with the scout in middle, the recent pickup for Big. The UK hope, some say. He's going to be tagging down the first man in the middle as Renegades look to split their way up towards short. Bomb outside of A long here, and we've got some utility set up. That could be a really, really nice nade, and it is. tabseN cleans up a kill. Second one coming through. It's like a barrage, Harry. It's artillery, and more shots landing for Nex. He is just having an absolute baller morning.
He most certainly is. Now, JKS going to manage one. Oh, Nex is not ready. JKS over on short, even though he just picked up that 1 kill. So JKS now in a 1v3, and there is Tizian wrapping around behind him. JKS's time on this earth does look awfully limited. Fake flashes with the bomb, and oh my goodness, that's much bigger than a flashbang. So's the bullet that comes out the Deeg shortly after, but Tizian going to be able to trade. Classic Smooya.
Yeah.
Gets wrecked.
Is that it? No, you're not adding anything to that. Okay.
End the sentence there.
Well,
I've never seen a fake flash with the bomb actually work or be done before.
No, I have seen it done, but work, Fake flashes just don't work unless you're using decoys, but even then a good player can see a decoy has a red tinge. Good old red tinge. It does. Well, Big are looking to get rid... yeah, they say. Big are looking to get rid of Renegades full pistol round here, Glocks, and nothing but. So this is going to be a pretty simple affair here for Big, you would like to assume. Got B's pushed up into the top of middle, and look at the tunnels control that Big holds. They have 2 players inside of the B tunnels. Renegades hold for some aggression. They know Smooya likes to push up here because he's been doing that quite a lot. And instead he holds his breath, holds his time in the lower tunnels with the USP. Doesn't matter if he goes down. The reason Smooya hasn't bought a gun here is so he can buy up that AWP nice and soon. And if you were to get killed by any pistols here, if he bought up an SMG, he wouldn't lose too much money. So it's not a huge risk, but it'd be nice for him to stay alive so he can keep that armor. But if he walks into this B setup, he may be walking to his death, Harry, because look at these hungry Australians.
Oh, let's see. It's the Ashes Mark II over here towards the B-bomb site. The UK versus Australia. And as per usual, we're kind of struggling, so someone else had to come in and help out. And it's the Germans, Tizian and Gobby, tagging them down. Smooya.
That'll do.
Using damage. Might fall to use Stillo here, but no, he's going to land this shot. And this is, of course, just the Antico. Only Glocks out for Renegades, so not expecting too much. Big looking to find that 3rd round. And it will come in courtesy of tabseN. 3-0 start. And it's going to bode well here for Big, I think, letting Nex hit the ground running. He's someone who I always think had a lot of promise, and you know, kind of started to fall flat a little bit. You really looked at tabseN at one point; it was the only good player in this team. But now, you know, Nex having a resurgence couldn't come at a better time for Big. It feels like, because he's found his footing as of late.
And Gobby's had a great event as well. He's been in the top 5 for utility usage this entire event in terms of flash assists. So yeah, individually he's been great, and utility-wise he's been fantastic too. But Smooya only 1 kill on long. I don't think they realise, however, Gobby is crossed to the pit. They need to be careful, and yeah, no one has a single clue. Gobby, element of surprise, and he does take down Nifty. Important kill there, following up with the flashbangs as we know and love, and they will turn around, but Gobby cannot do a thing more. Azza trades it, And that is an AWP down on long as well. They can pick that up off the body of Smooya and use that to try and take this A bomb site. Nifty may be dead already, but Renegades do like an AWP. JKS is still alive, the resident secondary AWP player for this Australian core. And Big, as they start to gain map control, they gain information, Harry. Tizian's pushed down lower tunnels. They know it's an A play at this point. There's one man up on short, a couple still on long, and a minute on the clock. Tabson stuck in the open, but he has got support at least from Nex.
Bomb slowly but surely crossing out from Lom. Tabson spotted by Jacob. The Molotov going to force him forward. Tabson makes that look easy. Almost too easy. JKS pushing down long, going to come in with the trade. He's having a pretty decent time of things thus far for Renegades. That's certainly going to bode well for them. And they even managed to topple Nex, now leaving all the pressure onto Tizian over here at short.
Oh, he can't reach the gun.
That's always devastating. Going to have to try and take this at range with the MP9. That's so much less than ideal. JKS is tagged low at least. But Az is going to finish him off. A little bit sad for him there. You would have loved to have had him grab the AK and have an alternate attack in towards the A-bomb site, but not meant to be. Double ops that are going to be broken into early on there by Tabson and Smooya. Now, initially when we saw this come in, I think it was ESL One Belo Horizonte. They did this quite a lot. And as I recall, one of the maps they tried it on was Inferno, one was Dust2. And Tabson had a pretty hard time with things there in the playoffs of that event. Hopefully, you know, him and Smooya now can combine to make something far more beautiful here as they bring it out early on Dust2.
Yeah, and Nifty's only got a scout as well. They didn't save that up from long in the previous round. So Renegades skimping a little bit on the buy. Nifty and Jacob, the two best performers for this team, typically are sitting on 0 kills currently. They are being dragged through by the Australians, but Renegades with their first round, and oh dear, Smooya. He's very aggressive, we know it, but will it work out? Because there is a man on the other side of the tunnels. Jacob posted on the angle. He just moves off. Oh, it couldn't be worse timing. Smooya takes him down, and that's a bomb dropped in the tunnels. Nothing will come of it because Smooya's going to give up the position, allow Renegades to regain control. But with a man advantage now, a lot of the pressure off for Big.
Yeah, most definitely. And the pressure now couldn't be stronger for Renegades. If they lose this, they're not going to have much to work with into the next, as that reset would come through. Only 2 players surviving at the end of the previous round. That was, of course, JKS and Azza. So Renegades are up on short. Nate goes in from Nex. That's going to find a decent bit of damage onto Azza. He does soak up the rest of the damage for his team. The smoke splash is going to start to rain into this A-bomb site. And now, Nex, joined by Tabson with that secondary AWP, going to be tested. The MP9 finds some good damage onto JKS. Tizian's already started to push up as well through CT. And Nex going to claim himself one, keeps the advantage in favor of Big. And there's so many players here. Everyone from Big already coming to the aid of the guys inside of A. It all falls on you, Stillo. 1v3, it's not meant to be. Tizian doubles down, and that's going to be Big, finding a 4th round here.
And that's
their map pick.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done it here.
It's fine, you know.
Yeah,
I understand, Hugo. That probably is where I should have finished my sentence.
It's okay, Harry. I'll forgive you. Even though I was the one who's made the mistake. But yeah, that's awkward for Renegades. Not only is it a reset, but Big won that with a couple of SMGs. So they're not only going to make money, Tizian with 2 on the back of the MP7, but also the upgrade to the free AKs. One-shot potential on these rifles that Renegades now can't even buy up themselves. We've got about $3,000 across this T side per player, so a single eco is all that will be needed. They actually can't invest that much because, as I said, it's a reset. $1,900 will be their next round loss bonus, so really, if you're on 2,500 like Nifty here, you're not going to be able to get the AWP. You're barely going to be able to get an AK with full utility as well. So Renegades are going to struggle, at least for now, but only 1 eco has to be given the way of Big. Double AWP still intact. Smooya, where is he spawning? Nah, bad spawn. Not going to be able to go for an early pick, and Tabson with a similar fate as well in the middle. But Big, I don't think it'll matter too much. They don't have to force an early kill. Renegades have so little to work with in this round. The Smooya's still going to go for it. Doesn't find anything, but the second shot will. Headshot onto Jacob. This man is getting wrecked every single round. Jacob is yet to find anything in this map, and Smooya's going to double it up. JKS dropped through the doors. And now Renegades try to group up on short, but Tabson is on the site, and we already know that these pistols are not going to be too well ranged. Yeah, you still and has a left alive to try and make something happen of this round. Smooya got
one and the second as well. Finds both those frags at the very end.
He loves an anti-eco frag.
He certainly does, padding those stats out. Going to be 5-1 now for Big. Let's not forget this is their map pick. And they're desperate to try and make it through to that playoff stage, get to play in front of the home crowd. For Renegades, similar story, although, of course, not the home crowd.
I think Cologne is the most diverse crowd of any esports event that we have, in CSGO at least, right? Because when you have an event like Belo Horizonte, the vast majority of that's going to be a Brazilian crowd. Again, the commentary is in Brazilian. Oh, no, I've done it, Harry. In Portuguese. My apologies. And, you know, when you go to, like, the London Major, I think maybe majors are a bit different because people like to travel to them. But Cologne, that has so many different, you know, countries of people. That was terribly phrased, but... yeah, very, very diverse. You always have the Polish fans in there as well. I remember when VP were making a bit of a run in 2015, and you had a lot of Polish people supporting them. But back to the game, tabseN already going to be opening up. Got B from the pit as well, doing damage, and he's baiting them in, so tabseN can line up more damage. Second frag from him off the back of the AWP. Smooya not even needed this round because it's all tabseN. 3 frags, and there he is. Smooya to clean up. A flawless round for Big. They are kicking off this map very, very strong because we are not having many deaths for the CT side, so money is going to be fantastic. This is going to be a difficult job for Renegades to put Big down to an eco. And talking of eco, Harry, the boys are on exactly that.
Yeah, they do not have much to work with here on this side of Renegades. Similar story to what we've been seeing. It's going to be the push over here this time there towards B, where Smooya and Tizian lie in wait. Smooya's looking like maybe he wants to try an aggressive peek, and this is that shot on a JKS. Now Renegades turn their attention down here towards mid. Not off to the best of start for the boys. Haven't seen too much from them though on Dust2, so maybe it is early days for them on this map. Next, gonna have a chance here to pad those stats down in mid. Smooya as well, as you said, loves an anti-eco frag. Not going to give him the last one as Nex farms up 3. Big going to move up 7-1. Renegades finally with the chance to buy. It feels like it's been decades since we saw them with the rifles in hand. And
we've not seen Nifty with Norp yet, but here it is finally. Glass Cannon. And to note as well, Renegades, this is not a map they frequent at all. I remember the first time I saw them on this map was actually in the Cologne qualifiers up against Optic. And they had some really nice executes. They had some nice long smokes, some new, you know, utility I'd not seen before on this new map. So while Renegades haven't really played it that many times, in terms of what I saw, it was actually a really nice game of CS, and they kind of destroyed Optic to qualify for this event. But yeah, so far, not seeing anything from them. As you say, it's 7-1. Smooya's posted in the tunnel, another free kill, but he's going to get hunted. They were too close to trade. The man in the middle, Azza, going to split into that B bomb site, killing Tizian while he's distracted and taking control for Renegades. With a man advantage in the B bomb site under their control, it is so difficult to retake if you're Big, so they probably just got to give it up. And so much utility for Renegades as well. Look at this.
Yeah, no, there's no way back into this one for Big, sadly. I'm going to have to back away. Renegades find themselves a second round. Coming off the back of Azza and Ustillo. Jacob and Nifty struggling right now. Both right down there, bottom of the board. Jacob yet to fill the frag. Nifty only with 1. JKS leading the charge. I always feel like, you know, on this team, JKS is probably... you know, me and you were actually speaking about Renegades yesterday, Hugo. We had a pretty big discussion. I think JKS is probably my favorite player in this team.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I think he's... You know, I know you're a big Jacob fan, and I know you're a big Nifty fan.
I am indeed.
And while I
do like
both,
the boys, yeah, but I don't know. I like this team.
I think JKS is the better player. Hugo, there you go. I'll come out.
Sorry, better than who?
Just the best in the team.
I think I think it's hard to argue that. If you're actually going off of like...
If you're going off of stats, I think you'll find he probably is. I don't know. I haven't done that much research.
I would be extremely doubtful.
Well, you know what? We'll wait and see. Someone can let us know.
I can let you know. Jacob is the best player on this team. I don't think you can even argue with that. I don't think that's even like up for discussion. But right now, him struggling is going to be a big problem for Renegade. So we need someone to step up. That's such a nice peek from Azza. Really a nice attempt. It won't land the shot, but he ducks below the AWP, gets to an off angle, and tries to catch out that boost that got being employed with tabseN. Nothing will be found of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Big back off here. It's very risky to commit for too long up on short because Renegades are eventually going to put the pressure up. But, yeah, Big fall off. And this is what I talk about. Renegades have a lot of nice utility on this map, but it is only flashbangs for now. This is a position that Jacob throws a smoke over on long. You see we've got that wall of smokes down for Renegades. Something I saw them do in the qualifiers a little bit. But for now, Big are happy to give up long, allow Renegades some map control to play with. They will fall out of that one, but they've set Nifty up. So he can come in later into that round with this AWP that he's posted. And right now, Big are just trying to keep up the pressure with their utility while Renegades split towards short. A man still holding on to the tunnel, but Smooya's not going aggressive this time. Big, very reserved. And with 30 seconds left, Renegades, they have to hurry up.
They most certainly do. This smoke being down on short going to cause them all sort of problems, but that's Nifty opening up. They just have to get past God B, and he's looked very, very good this event thus far. The flash comes through. God B in amongst the enemy. Does go down. Tabson going to have to try and hold down the fort, but that Molotov could do it all. They've gotten by it, and now it's Tabson to try and step up to the mark. Only good for one as they burn him out. One plan is going to come through just in the nick of time for Renegades, and now it's next pushing up. CT, 2 targets to find, and Tizian over on short, but Jacob and Azza try to sneak on by. Azza's going to be able to trade, and Tizian plucks the last man from the Renegades roster. Defuse will come in. That's going to be Big moving on to an 8th round. Renegades can't seem to catch a break right now. It's a slow start from Nifty.
I mean, they even found the pick there as well. That's such a shame for Renegades. Good trading from Big, and just every shot that needed to be hit was hit for Big. Renegades had a great opportunity into that round with a man advantage, and that splits up short, killing God B, but still, it's held down by Big, and Tabson on the site puts up the pain. 8-2. Luckily, the bomb plant does allow for somewhat of a buy, but Harry, look at this money split across Renegades. We have Azza on 6k. We have Ustillo on 3. It's not like this money is going to be fantastic for Renegades, but they're going to piece it together regardless because they've got Nifty on that AWP. He can typically be the man to open up, especially on a map like Dust2. But when we got this double up for Big, they're constantly shifting these positions. We had Smooya playing that A site just the previous round. He's been in middle before. We've seen him down in B getting aggressive in tunnels. Big never remaining predictable. So Nifty, no matter where he goes, he can't be for sure that he's going to face off against Smooya, but he probably will face off against one of these AWPs, and now he's going to go fast on long. Got B there, but he's not going to go for the early peak. He's got support from Tabson, so maybe a flashbang around the corner, and it will set him up with a Molotov, but Got B taking a lot of control, making sure there's no one behind the dumpster. With that part of the map clear, Nifty's going to spot him on the cross, and Got B, he needs to get out of there. They can molly that position.
Yeah, you understand the setup. The Molotov comes through early on from Tabson, spitting the fire out like a Drake. At least that is Gob's plan. Next down here, Mega to do damage on Oaza, but does fall at the first hurdle. Nifty plucks away at Smooya, and now suddenly Renegades there in a very good spot this time around. They found themselves 2 entries, make that 3 as Azza's on a tear. JKS even going to go ahead and find Tizian, lurking down towards the depths of B. And now they know where another B is. It's got B up in the A-bomb site, tagged away, looking to try and hold onto this AWP. Not usually an AWPer, but he's going to look to try and wield it now to deal with the man down in pit. Misses the first shot, and they would love to take this away from him. Jacob's going to do exactly that.
That's a nice round from Renegades as well. They start to get themselves back into the swing of things. Even though there were limitations with economy in the previous round for both JKS and Ustillo, it does not hold them back. Nifty finding his form a little bit as well with a couple of kills. And Big, of course, we've already talked about this economy on the CT side. They've made so much money after these last few rounds, so they're going to be able to buy up. In fact, it's Tabson AWPing over Smooya right now. Maybe that's due to the fact that Nifty has won that battle in the last 2 rounds. So Smooya, more confident with a rifle. And that is in the B site for now, where he's been flashed out, but Renegades just taking that early control. They've set up in the lower tunnels here. Focusing on middle here, with 4 players coming through tunnels, Renegades maybe wanting to go for an early setup, and that's going to allow for it. Azza, he will drop Tabson. The only AWP here for the side of Big has been removed, and now we need someone to trade things back. So Tizian repositions down in mid. The sort of crossfire from Nex, who's playing on that dumpster watching short, but because Big have now lost a man, complications are going to arise. There are lots of positions where Renegades can push, and Big can't hold every single one.
Now, somewhere this defense has to take a hit, and as you can see right now, looks like Renegades are considering this A play. With a minute left, they have plenty of time. Their options are definitely open. JKS keeping an eye on tunnels. The rest of the boys clearing out short, all 4 of them here. Tizian even going in with a little peek in through middle. God B gets Molotov'd out of position. Smoke's down though, and he's hidden in it. I'm not sure Renegade's going to see this one coming, but the bomb's dropped down into mid. You can see right now it's on the back of Jacob. They're going to go pushing into the waiting arms of Tizian, and he finds a decent bit of damage. God B's now gone aggressive in through short. This is where Smooey is going to be tested though. Players aggressing in through mid and through tunnels. Smooey finds himself back against the wall. Has to face off against Jacob and JKS. God B's there to help him out. That's the man from window dropped, and Smooya just has to buy time, but he falls at the first hurdle. They're going to be allowed to retrieve the bomb. Or are they? Nex has turned it around, now leaving Nifty 1v2. And he's going to get pressured from the window and the door. Nex doesn't want to see him anymore, and that's big in with the 9th round. Looking pretty flawless right now over on this CT side. The Renegades struggling really to get this ball rolling.
Yeah, it's constant resets from Big. If we look at the scoreboard, we can see when Renegades are actually finding rounds, Big are just putting them back down to pistols pretty soon after. And that's what we have here. Yes, Renegades are bought up, but it's not like they've actually maintained their T-side economy. We've got a CZ on Azza, we've got barely any utility on the vast majority of these players. And yeah, we do have the AWP for Nifty, but it's not got armor behind it. So yeah, 3 resets right now for Big. Renegades not being able to get consistent footing in this map, and that is certainly proving to be a problem right now for the Australian team. What can Renegades do to pull themselves out of this rut? That is not a good start for Jacob. He's going to get dunked, and Tabson just going to shoot into the face of Ustillo. Winning that duel has put Big again in the man advantage. Things are looking problematic for Renegades, and they will again group up towards that A side of the map. But the thing is, taking A is so reliant on you splitting between long and short sometimes, but they just don't seem to be able to get out long. We've barely had Renegades having long control this entire game, while short's been alright for them. It's this constant 1-2 combo of God B and Tabson locking it down round after round. We're going to have the same setup again this time. This time Tabson, though, focused up on short. Renegades, the real push, coming down on long.
Now, I mean, we say our girl B has looked very, very good at this event. He's going to look better than ever here, but he's going to get deleted. As the 2 brains behind these operations clash down at long, Nifty's the man to win the duel. It's Tabson at his card. Pretty low, nothing more than to drive away from this situation. 3 players about to come through from the long position, and Tabson, well, he's able to drive by the first. JKS does drop him, and now Azza out from short. He's looked fantastic in this matchup thus far. Next, relying on Smooya to back him up, does fall at the hands of Azza, and now left in a 2-on-2 with Smooya tagged down to 9 HP, are looking at Tizian to try and make some magic happen. Well, there's no rabbit from a hat, but he has found Azza. JKS is left in a 1v2, the bomb ticking down. They say this man might be savage, but now he is to be more untamed than ever. He's going to first peek on down into Smooya, finds where the first man is, knows that Tizian's up on short. He hops down into CT. JKS has played this well. He hears the footsteps come his way, and Smooya left now. 9 HP, and JKS going to find them both. Cements the hat-trick on the board, and Renegade's going to be picking up their 4th round. As JKS spearheads the charge here for the Aussies over on their T side.
That's such a hard round for Big to play as well. Fantastic work from JKS to actually capitalize on it, but yeah, really difficult clutch with Smooya so tagged up and Tizian down on an SMG. It seems like Tizian's been kind of playing that role for Big in this event so far. He's been the man who was always going to take that SMG. Usually it would be God B for this roster, but Tizian's actually been getting a lot of work done. So nice to see him taking a bit of a harder role, but still finding success. And that nade is, again, meaty as ever. Big going to set up tagging 2 players low early on, but Jacob's gone for the boost, so he will catch God B getting aggressive. Only 4 players left here for Big, and they're all on pistols, so Renegades, they should have a fairly easy time with this. But there is a triple B setup. However, Big look like they want to get aggressive, and Nifty's holding the angle. So 1 for him, tagged down a little bit, but he's got so many teammates to support him here. And JKS, prime example. 2 more frags coming his way, and 1 more man stands in between Renegades and a 5th round.
Well, Scoreline currently sits 9-5. Dolly Parton fans can rejoice. Renegades, they've started to claw this back in the last couple of rounds, Hugo. Quite a game thus far from Ustillo. But his two Aussie brothers are definitely making up for that fact right now. Azza and JKS leading the charge for Renegades. They're going to go ahead and kickstart the round heading over towards B. As smoke falling in mid does indicate they're going to take a little bit longer to cross. Smooya, though, dropping Azza down in mid. He's going to go ahead and slow down this offensive from Renegades.
And I just question that push from Azza, right? Because you have your entire team in lower tunnels to set you up with a flashbang to pop you in with utility. It's not like he even played off spawn and went super, super fast, you know? He had his gun out the entire way, so I wonder why he went so aggressive there instead of waiting for his teammate to pop flash him in, because that's just a free kill for Smooya 9 times out of 10. And again, big with a man advantage. Although, Harry, not every time they've had a man advantage have they been able to close the round. Renegades have done a good job of clawing it back, and a lot of that has been Nifty winning his duels with the AWP. Flash in, got B going to find the kill, though, and that is now very, very difficult for Renegades. But good wallbang does put God B down to 20 HP, and Nifty might finish off the job.
He would have loved to have found that kill on a God B, but he's been allowed to elude them. Tizian now about to face off versus JKS. Recently reduced in price, MP7, no match for the might of the AK. Now the rotation with Nifty on the bomb on his back and head on through towards the B bomb site, but it's Ustillo who could be the determining factor. He's found God B, and now you can see what that's done, even if it leads to no more frags from him. The amount of attention Bigger having to divert to dealing with this one man in the back line. Oh, is he even going to find himself another on a Smooya next? And Tabson still focused on dealing with the man behind enemy lines, the snake in the grass. And they can't find him, they can't deal with him. He's a real thorn in their side. Not letting anything slip by. He's going to even hop down, and Ustillo is just dismantling them. He's making this look easy. It is just Nex left to do what he can, and while he's found that first kill on Ustillo, there's hardly any time. There's no way back into this for him. Renegades pick up the pieces there at the end of the first half and manage to find 6 rounds.
That's so well played from Ustillo. All he does is just stay alive, and that's enough to lose big the round. Already a B retake is hard, Harry, but when you have a man just punching you in the side of the head and not letting you focus on the real objective, which is getting that defuse, Big can't go for the B play, because the second they focus on that site, he does exactly what he does. He drops off short, kills another man walking up the ramp, and is a further problem for Big. So really nice work from Ustillo in that final round. You just mentioned how he was having a bit of a quiet game. Well, there's an important round that has been won by just him. So Betway is currently leading in favour of Big, as they are 3 rounds ahead in the second half. But I wouldn't even say that it is that favourable right now. While I'm still feeling confident for Big, if Renegades take this pistol round, they are back in this game to a very good extent. And on the CT side as well, with a very equal map, it's anyone's match to take.
Emo certainly is. Especially if Ustillo makes a few more big Dick Stacy plays like that. Renegades now only trailing behind by 3 rounds. So pistol around here would very quickly propel them back into the lead. And it doesn't even really feel like we've seen all that much of Nifty or Jacob yet. Heading into the CT side, I think Nifty's a very, very strong CT-sided AWPer. So be sure to keep an eye on that. If Renegades can find the pistol, it means Nifty can get that AWP out so much earlier. I don't think we saw it come into, what, round 5 or round 6, rather, for Renegades in this map, which you do feel like maybe hurt them a bit.
And as soon as they got it, they started actually opening up rounds. They got Smooya off that AWP. He stopped AWPing as soon as Nifty killed him twice in a row. And then that was a similar story to what happened versus Elige in the Liquid game, the big one on this exact map. Elige was just killing Smooya round after round, and then he obviously wasn't too happy about that. So let's hope that it doesn't dissuade his confidence too much, but already God B is dead in the B tunnels. Renegades finding a shot through the smoke, and Jacob doing another frag as well. Renegades are locking down this round, and Big have had no footway into it. More utility going over, Tabson tagged. And what a Renegades, oh sorry, what a Big even do here, because they're pinched in. Renegades have the control of the map. They even left B because they know where everyone is. Oh.
Okay, that was Jacob, but that's still impressive. And Nifty just there you go, because Jacob did that while jumping.
Oh
so Tabson's going to manage one, but it's got nothing on the flair and ability of the Renegades in that pistol round. Their 7th round on the board, now a chance to start to claw themselves back into this game. Only 2 rounds between them and Big right now. once again, Hugh, you and I spoke about this yesterday.
Yeah.
You thought that this would be a big game, if I'm not mistaken.
What, in favor of Big? Yeah. I think Big are going to win this series.
I did say Renegades yesterday. I still stand. I can't believe I'm going against God B and my boy Smooya.
I think Renegades are right now. Like, it's hard to bet on Big unless you're just hoping for an upset. Like, Renegades are the favorites of this game, I would say, but Big have that upset potential. They're a new team. They've got a lot of like firepower on it. I think it's just the surprise factor that Big's going to come in and do that. So we've already seen them find success on Dust2 before, and yeah, okay, this game is certainly close. This is not an easy game for Big right now because Renegades should be finding 9-9, but I don't know. I have a feeling that Big will be able to surpass it as long as their players can all step up. And right now, while it's looking good for Renegades in terms of round score, in terms of the key fraggers that we expect to step up here, Jacob and Nifty, they are pretty silent right now, Harry. So if they don't find their form in the second half, Big could certainly start closing it out once we hit rifle rounds.
That is true. I mean, they have looked very good thus far. I'll give them that, but you have to commend this comeback from Renegades.
Yeah.
Actually, seeing as this is a bit of a lull round right now, in the sense that there isn't much board up for Big just yet, and they're not really doing much. Can we quickly take a look at the scoreboard? Right. So, yeah. I mean, you take into account the what? It was.
It's 3 resets. It was 9-3 for Big.
I was going to say it was 7-1 at one point in time for Big. Now pulled back to a 9-7 from Renegades. That's pretty monumental already, and it only stands to get better as. You imagine they close out this round, you still like, ooh, that's a nice shot from Tabson, fair enough.
Tabson. Oh. Awkward flashbang.
Yeah, he's quickly going to get picked up. Next down in the pit, tapping away with this PT-50. He does have 3 bodies to find, but Ustilo, who's up inside of this A bomb site, is tagged down within inches of his life. Next, going to flash himself around the corner. Jacob makes that look almost all too easy. Renegades onto an 8th and a chance to equalize now heading into this next round. And there's no money really for Big. Weren't able to find the bomb plant. They went for a conservative buy in that previous round. They want to try and get the utility out early on, and you can see that Nex has saved up some extra cash. You imagine that's to throw the AWP over to either Smooya or Tabson.
Big stepping away from the typical German approach of Deagles, at least. Deagles with armor in that second round, because Gobi wants more utility, and you can't blame him. Very, very strong IGL in his region. The best in his country without a doubt at calling, so right now Big are just taking it as it comes. Pistols, no armor, no utility. Renegades chance to find their 9th round, and I don't think too many casualties should come through here. We've only got 1 SMG, so Renegades would like to keep all these guns intact as to stop themselves from having to rebuy these rifles. And of course not allow Big to save them, although that's unlikely given the fact that we do have this eco round, and they are on the T side, so you don't really want to save in this kind of round if you're Big. You may as well just die, get that loss bonus. Although a rifle's worth more than the loss bonus, and considering they already have 2k, financially it would make sense, but it's just too much for risk. So Big probably not even going to get an option to get rifles, so they're just going to pile up towards the A site, try and overwhelm Ustilo and see if they can get a bomb plant.
Well, run boost going to come through. Tizian looks beautiful. The next going to get rid of Ustilo. So into a 4-on-4. The bomb goes down. This is much better than Renegades. Sorry, the Big possibly would have hoped for. Nifty does manage one. Now they know his whereabouts. They know he's over here towards short. They've lost that deadly Deeg, but Smooya has received himself an M4. And I'm just going to look to try and play this very, very tight inside of the site. Next finds one with the Deeg. Tizian going to drop one more. It's Azza and JKS left, and both these guys have looked so good, but Next with the Deeg manages his 3rd, and you get a bit worried there for Renegades. It comes down to the wire. Equalizing round will be found, courtesy of JKS with a fast fancy 4K over on the side of Renegades. But that was some heroics I didn't think they'd need to pull. Big now with plenty of money over on this T side. The AWP can be bought out, and it's going to be Next picking that up. Wondering if that's based off of a spawn. Doesn't seem to be. No, okay, he's throwing it over to Smooya. I was going to say.
That's so frightening, that round, though, because now Renegades, who looked so good in the second half to try and pull this game into their hands, now if Big win 1 rifle round, Renegades are on eco. If they kept 3-4 rifles alive in that previous round, they would have had no problem rebuying if they lost this one. But now Big have the perfect opportunity to not only take 10, but a further 11th as well. Everything is in the hands of Big in this rifle round, considering the context of that previous. All they need to do is capitalize on the moment, take the round away from Renegades, and while they're very well equipped, it's the same story for now, at least for the Aussies. Big in middle. Smooya trying to lock it down with the AWP to allow these lower tunnel players to move out of position. Smooya just trying to bait shots through, but Renegades are not fighting back with an AWP. Az has boosted up to watch for this mid to B play, and this is such a powerful position because it's rarely checked. Left side smoke means Next wants to peek into the CT spawn, but still this position is going to be dangerous, and combined with the fact that Nifty's up on the car, he's going to be able to lock down CT as well for further support. Big don't know what they're walking into right now, but if they commit to a CT play, this could be pretty bad.
Well, only time will tell. Will Big skirt past the danger? Throw that smoke down so Smooya can look to try and peek in and clear out CT. The Molotov forces Azza away. They hear the footsteps. The jig is up for Azza. Now they turn their attention over here towards the short position. 30 seconds. You're about to be tested. You're going to get thrown in against Nifty. An AWP who's so often talked about, often compared to player like Fallen. From a top cup, the car does fall down. It's Azza to find the first kill. The bomb's crossed into the bomb site. Nade from Azza finds good damage. It will go down as God beat. Punches in the numbers, and it's a 5v4 in the retake for Renegades.
They're playing this so well, though. They're not overcommitting to duels. They're just setting up with a man advantage because they've already found that pick. This is going to be all on Big, on forcing these fights and trying to get engagements that favor them. And now Az are going to move up. Nifty can't hit the shot, but the T certainly can. Great headshot coming through for Nifty, but will it be too late? They need to follow up. Next is going to be caught on short as well, and God B is just putting up damage from the site. Combined with Smooya holding the cross, who is now the last alive. He's dropped Ustillo. AWP v AWP. The young gun versus the young gun, and Smooya's just going to hear the fake. Nifty's running away, and he dives in, trying to get in the face of Nifty, but I don't know if that's worth it, in my opinion, because now if we look at the money, Big can't afford an AWP, unless God B drops one over, but he likes his utility. I'd say that's unnecessary for Smooya, especially when he can wrap back through short and try and catch that rotate through mid and not die. So, a dangerous fight. But Big do win the round, Harry. And what that's done now, as we said, that's put Renegades into a really awkward spot where they've got no money. They might buy around this AWP because they don't have loss bonus anyway. But we'll see what they decide to do.
Well, looks like they are going to try and employ the force. Tactical timeout called in. A chance to convene with their coach, their trial coach, Ryu, which I do think has definitely helped reinvigorate the Renegades roster.
Yep.
Oh, a lot of R's there in one sentence.
Reinvigorate the Renegades roster.
From Ryu, yeah. But one round between these two teams, Renegades have definitely done a fantastic job of pulling this back. Big now with a shot that was starting to edge ahead once again.
And Godby has dropped the AWP over to Smooya. Funnily enough, I didn't think that would happen, but he knows that Nifty saved that AWP, and maybe he's willing to give up the utility despite being such a good player with those nades. If Smooya can find effect into this round, that's fantastic. And while he did win the previous 1v2 clutch by killing Ustillo and just staying alive long enough for the bomb to go down, maybe we'll have a little bit more from him. Nifty's posted up, but he's going to get shot down from lower. His teammate as well tagged through the smoke, and Ustillo down to 20 HP. Renegades, they may not have at least alerted Big that they found damage, but this is certainly going to come back to haunt the CT side.
Things certainly are heating up here on Dust2, and well, Renegades have a natural advantage. They're pretty used to the heat. Smooya and the Germans won't be faring so well. Nifty holding down the mid doors, which goes through, and he's going to get forced off the angle. Has to rely now on the rest of his team to try and see him through the action. And no one from Big actually heads on through that smoke. Probably the right call to make with the amount of players down in CT. Instead, they're going to try and run the gauntlet over here in A. This is where the AWP on Nifty currently resides. The only other weapon brought up for Renegades is that shotgun on Jacob. Smooya finds the first frag. That's the AWP down, and now it falls to JKS to try and have some Deagle heroics, but it won't happen. And now I think for Renegades, you just have to save. Holding on to a Nova is probably not the highlight that you want. Let's not forget, for those who are just joining us, this is the map pick of Big. They were up 7-1 at one point in time, and now we see it going 11-9. Big still maintaining this league, but Renegades have started to pull themselves back into it. In case you're wondering what's at stake, the loser of this will be heading home, which for Renegades is a lengthy flight back to America. For Big, just down the road, as a matter of fact. The winner will be moving through to play versus the winner of of North versus MIBR.
And Godby at least is getting the worth out of dropping that AWP. Smooya kills the only player that was really equipped, unless you count the Nova. That AWP on Nifty was removed down
count
on long.
the Nova as worse than a pistol.
Yeah, I agree. CZ's definitely better than the Nova. Like, it's great for a position like this if you're just holding close B, but if you're trying to retake with a Nova, yeah, well, you don't. You save like Jacob just did, so... Yeah, I think that's another big factor to take into account, Harry, before you make your point, because I can see you're eager.
Oh, no, don't worry. No. If you're making an actual point, please do. Mine is not
I want to
real.
hear your joke. I want to hear your joke.
No, I was just going to say, here's an idea for any of you talented workshop people out there.
Okay.
Just create a Nova skin that's just like pure gold. Because A, that would look baller.
Yeah.
But then you just call it like either like, you know, Nova for Novas or the Gold Nova. Because they're the only people who use that gun. There we go. It's come full circle.
I'm glad I didn't say anything, because that's far more interesting than what I had to say. I was just going to say that, I don't even remember. It wasn't that important.
Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't that important. It was about a shotgun. I don't care. Either way, Bigger back in the lead of this game, Harry. We do have that saved Nova on Jacob. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Jacob, he's having a tough game. 9 kills, bottom of his team right now. This is the man we expect to see at the top most games, and especially on an aim map like Dust2. This man has fantastic aim. The Norwegian demon. Doesn't really rhyme like I thought it would in my head, but yeah, this is a bit of a shame to see Jacob at the bottom, because that's certainly impacting Renegades' performance in this map. Big looking to take their 12th round, and I don't think we're going to see any chance of Renegades winning this. There's so little to play with.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the shotgun and a CZ. You're looking really at Azza and Jacob to try and have one hell of a round. And, oh, God B, there's a couple of helmets walking your way, my friend.
Oof.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Clearly we have that link. Pointed out to him, and there we go. Finds them both. Jacob and JKS left alive. And once again, going to look to try and hold on to the Nova.
I hope he's going to go for something at least, because he doesn't want to bring that into a rifle round,
yeah,
right?
I mean, you can kind of tell what sort of game Jacob's having when he saved the Nova 2 rounds in a row, right? that kind of sums up, like, it's maybe not the best right now for him. Of course, he has made waves since he moved into this Renegades roster. Originally came in as a stand-in. I believe that's still what he's listed as, is a stand-in, but it's like...
Really?
Yeah.
I assume they would have picked him up by now.
No, because they brought him in as a stand-in, and then everyone just kind of got on with each other so well that he's still in the team.
I'm not going to drop any hot leaks that I don't know 100% true, but what I do know is there was another player that was lined up to join Renegades after Jacob initially joined this roster to stand in. They had a player in mind, and he'd agreed, as far as I'm aware. And then Jacob just fit so well into this team, they went, nah, it's all right, he'll stay. He's good. And yeah, it's been
I stay.
It's been a very good idea. I stay. That's a good one. That's a golden meme right there.
Yeah, that is. That's the ultra golden meme of 2018.
Well,
but yeah, Jacob, does he keep the Nova? That's my question. It looks like he's going to. Which I guess, you know, if you're playing that B bomb site, maybe the only place that is going to be viable. I mean, you could go rush long doors with it, or maybe lower tunnels, but very situational to be in long doors. I mean, you know, coming up against Nex there with the AWP, he had the spawn, if you're wondering why he's got that over Smooya or Tabson.
And Nex is having a fantastic game as well. Top of his team, opening up multiple rounds. His Deeg antics have put Big in a great spot, of course, in that third of the half, because it did essentially put Renegades on eco when they lost the follow-up round. So, yeah, Nex, exactly who you kind of highlighted going into this map, Harry. We expect so much of him when he joined this roster, and he's now showing up in such an important game here for Big.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, Smooya has his sights set on A. At least that will be the end point for him as he starts to go peeking around.
Let's see if he excels at this position. Because if we look from the other side, Nifty was able to take him down from pit in just the first half. And Nifty is equipped with that AWP, so it's the swapsies.
Well, Smooya saw him play on a big stage for the first time, really. ESL One Belo Horizonte. Said since then he's gotten over the LAN jitters, and he hopes here to have an epic LAN. Nifty holding it down, is able to drop next. Tabson in with the return, and Tabson's been able to sneak by, but Smooya, now the pressure falls to him. He's lost everyone else over here at long, trying to hold down the fort. You still are even going to drop Tizzy in, and now this is the real test for young Smooth. Sadly, Nifty will be verifying his daddy status over at long as he powders the bottom of the youngster. That will be 12 to 10. Renegades reaching double digits. Starting to close the gap between them and Big. Smoothie back on the AWP, but this will be the last buy we see Big with. At least maybe for one round's time. They could justify going for a force in the next, I guess, with tabseN and Tizzy and saving some extra cash, but it doesn't really feel like a very God-B style, especially when you do have the lead.
Yeah, this is not a team that heavy forces in unnecessary situations, so I would imagine not. Nifty, again, back to middle. Sorry, it's JKS. I just saw an AWP and assumed, but JKS is on that secondary. He's going to take down God-B. Definitely not who you want to lose early on. The brains behind Big have been removed surgically. They've had a lobotomy, Harry. And now Renegades have a man advantage, but Tizian, oh, he almost committed to that. I think that would have been good as well, because Ustilo backed off quite far. There was an opportunity for Tizian, but he wasn't aware of it. Fair enough, not wanting to take the risk to throw away a further man advantage to Renegades. But it may be gifted anyway, because Nifty's up here on short. We've not seen him in this position before. tabseN won't be ready for it, and there it is. Nifty takes him down. Bomb dropped. And another man with no damage done to Renegades. Nifty repositioning back towards the A site as well, and Big still want to give it a go because they know there's a double AWP. So wherever they go, they're going to be facing against one of those cannons. Smooya, he can't afford to sleep at the wheel. He needs to turn this round around, or Next does at least, because they need to hurry up. 45 seconds left on the clock. And diving into the CT spawn, Big are going for A.
Next has been allowed to get by, but they're going to hear the footsteps. He still picks up Azza, and now the pressure going to be amplified that much more for Nifty. He holds his own, though, with the AWP. Going to go back for Smooya. And while Smooya finds the first kill, he's not ready for Ustilo, who's all the way up short. Renegade's going to move on to an 11th round, and money now runs low for Big. tabseN could justify going for a little bit of an investment here, as could Tizian. Tactical pause going to come through from Big. You very much understand why.
I'd like to claim my disdain in this round, Harry.
Okay.
Jacob has dropped the Nova, and he is gone for an AK.
Yeah, you know, I can understand why. Especially, you know, if you get the upgrade for free, I think that it's definitely worth it.
I think he dropped it previous round. He had it at the start of last... Yeah, not in spawn. Okay, fine. Call me out. Call me out. Oh. He dropped it last round because...
And who's observing? Is it Rush? Okay, there we go, yeah. You know what, it's Rush, because he's always willing to give a little nod.
Little nod,
nice,
yeah. We don't get that from anyone else. He's really...
DJ just messages me memes. I'm like, why are you doing this, Prius? What's wrong with you? But, well, you can take the memes out of me, but you can't take the me out of the memes. That's what they say.
No, they don't.
No, they really don't. How about this? There's no I in team, but there is two me's in meme.
Renegades.
Renegades, yeah, they're looking good right now. Big, they've got Deegs across the board, typical kind of German fashion. 3 Deegs, a PT50 for Smooya.
And look at this setup from Renegades, 3 and B. I mean, they know Big are pulling in pistols into this round, so they're just expecting the rush, but it's not going to happen for now. Might be a mid to B, but instead the bomb up short. I don't think we've seen one bomb plant on B this entire map. Am I right? Was it the last round of the first half? I can't think of any other B plays. So while we've seen attempts to go there, only one bomb plant on that map. In fact, there really haven't been that many bomb plants overall. 12 to 11 here. And while Big have the lead, Renegades have the bye. And this should be even Stevens, Harry. Big have a better utility to get themselves onto this A site, but it's not the getting there, it's the killing of Nifty, which will be so difficult. He is definitely fired up in this second half. Not just a Molotov on short, but also individually hitting his shots, and that's really been a problem for Big, because they've not really been able to go toe-to-toe with him yet. So let's see how they fare with pistols, trying to overwhelm him with a numbers advantage.
Yeah, you mentioned how this round will make everything even Stevens, and that, of course, is Shia LaBeouf in it. So now it's Big looking to just do it as they go running in towards this A-bomb site. The bomb's going to go down, actually, here. That's fantastic already for Big. Renegades having to pull everyone over, but these are very good odds for the German-British mix. Jacob and Azza slowly but surely moving through CT, and that bomb time is ticking down. Time is of the essence here for Renegades. They have to start to try and pick up the pace. There's JKS. Removing tabseN. God-B's found one with a Glock onto Jacob. Oh, surely not a second. I was going to say, what's going on? And now next, we know he's keen with the Deeg. He manages 2. And that's the best he can do. Defuse comes on in. Renegade's going to find a 12th round. But once again, it's so incredibly close. If the pistols are doing that much damage, you feel like now And Big move into a rifle. Maybe they just try something similar to that.
Yeah, that was the problem with that round was the only reason Big got a bomb plan is because Renegades were expecting a B rush, so they set up with a triple B and had 2 players deep on long. And when you have that kind of setup, you just give away a bomb plan. It's so much easier to retake, especially when you know you're up against like Glocks and pistols, etc. Of course, Nex makes it very close with a couple of Deagle kills, but yeah, Renegades played that round perfectly. Of course, there were some casualties, but in terms of actually the strategy, it was well read. And now we have a B rush, Harry. We're going to the old classic. Jacob is so blind, and he has no shotgun here, but it won't matter because we still have the triple B. And just like that, the round is done. As quick as you like it. Not even a point of damage on this Renegades roster.
This seems to be happening a lot as well. Like, no damage done to Renegades. Big aren't even seeing people. They're just dying. And, well, Tizian down here in the lower tunnels. Just hiding away. He's going to look to try and find something, but you don't imagine Renegades give this up. Tizian. Okay, found one. And a second on Eustillo. He likes to create a bit of an opportunity, does Tizian. He even reads it well that Jacob's going to be up in the window for that trade, but I think Nifty is the one he's going to expect. Okay, he expects that too. Tizian's all seeing. He's become sentient at this point in time. Only 6 HP though. And 3 bodies still to find.
Oh,
He's going to go
way.
for the long wrap. If he finds Nifty, then I think maybe we do see Tizian go for this. Regardless, the amount of damage he stands to do is monumental. If he drops this up, the prospect of having one in the next round for Renegades becomes a very tricky task. I think Nifty's going to be a little bit short. No, he can get one, but he won't have armor behind it.
I wonder why Nifty's checking both instead of just hiding car. Like, this is such an open position that, yeah, okay, he's checking it, which is great, but he's open to 2 spots at once. I like it, though. He does isolate at least long. He moves away from it, and there we go. This is what I expected here. 7 seconds left. You don't need the kill if you're Renegades. You don't need to take the risk of losing the AWP, because we're already having this comeback from the CT side. Look at the scoreboard. 3, then 3, then 4. Renegades... They've pulled this game back in their favor now for the first time in a while. And while the money isn't great, that was a round where they got a chance to build it. 3 kept alive here for Renegades. And that's important. Tizian not able to drop more than 2. And Big, they will be buying up around it, but Harry, I'm not feeling it right now. Smooya's got a scout. We've got a CZ on next. Godby on an SMG. It's not looking good for Big. They are going to need a phenomenal round if they want to get back in this matchup.
JKS even going to go as far to tag down Nex. And he's been the star player for Big in this map. Let's not forget, it's Big's map pick. They were up 7-1 at one point in time, and now things have turned against them. Nifty just styles on Tizian over at short, makes that look so easy. And now really looking towards Tabson and Smooya to work together. Smooya can chip them down with the scout. Godby's been able to retrieve an AK. I tell you what, Godby's had fantastic form this event. But this game, you know, it's kind of hard to always be at 120%, it feels like. And
I mean, only Nex is really performing this game. Like, we haven't had what we've seen from Smooya in some of the other matches. Tabson's been pretty quiet, apart from that CT second AWP that he was running very well in the first half. Tizian's had a couple of rounds here and there, but it's not like we've had anyone step up. Whereas on the flip side, Nifty's just hitting everything on this second half. JKS had a phenomenal first. Azza as well was top of the board for a while. We've got hard hitters on Renegades, and Big seem to be reduced to just 1 man, and that man now tagged down with an MP7. On your screens, it's Nex. But what will happen next for Big? 30 seconds left. They've got to make a decision, and this A site has not been working, so I'm not holding out for this. Nifty's ready on the other side with the AWP. Flash over the top, and he does start it off fully blind. Nex is dead, and now Eustillo just lines up 2. As quick as you like it, Renegades. A 14th round, and Big not even looking close.
a 7-1 lead for Big turned sour versus the boys here as they've pulled it back. 14-12 on Dust2, the map pick of Big. Map number 1 in this elimination best of 3. The loser will be going home. Big, they've impressed so far. A lot of people question their invitation to this event. They, of course, then were at ESL One Belo Horizonte as well. Made it to the playoff stage there. But here, their journey might end in the groups. Of course, even if they manage to dig deep and come back here, there's still a second map, possibly a third. And then you have to go on and also beat the winner of MIBR versus North. Actually, Hugo, while we sit here waiting, do you want to go ahead and try and dig for some information, crunch the numbers, try and get us an update? I'll go ahead and talk us through the buy. When you look over on the side of Big, they have money. AWP going to be out for Smooya, rifles for everybody else.
12-3 to North on the first half. It's now 15-14.
Oh
wow.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's a comeback. We'll keep you guys updated.
Danes love it. Danes love it. You know, a little bit of a throw, don't they? It's
oh
good
my
fun.
God. Careful.
They just have. It's more of a choke, sorry, but yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
A Danish choke. Wow. Astralis aren't really feeling that right now.
No, they certainly aren't. But for North, things are very much going south.
An early start for Renegades. They've taken a man advantage in a round that could put them to 15 on their opponent's map pick. A dire consequence for Big because they have just had no success here in the second half. They found the opening 3. Oh, sorry, no, they didn't even. They found 3 after the opening 3, but that's a good pick. Smooya doing some damage, and that's a B-site open. You can instantly see Azza scurry into this site, but Big are already here.
And what a big head to find as well. JKS goes down. Azza's now up to the mark. He's been able to get the first. The flashes are there, and they're very good. Getting thrown in from Jacob and Nifty down in mid. God, B thinking he's come up with the master plan to go for this flank, and Ustilo 1 step ahead, shuts him down. It all falls on a Tabson, and there was a time, if you look back maybe a year ago, that you would have expected Tabson to win this easy. He snuck past him. He's out in mid. Jacob's turned around, but Ustilo's able to get the trade. And Renegades, they're going to reach map point here on Big's map pick.
North have done the mouse sports. A 12-3 half went 15-14 that they've just won.
Okay.
So, few.
They are able to close that. Thank
Just
God.
took them some time on Mirage. I'm not sure whose map pick that is. I imagine it's theirs, yeah. Mirage being North. So currently, we've got on the mainstream, the team winning their own map pick. Here on the B stream, Harry, it's all up in the air. It's all in turmoil. Big are losing out on theirs. Dust2 has been a bit of a staple for this team recently, so surprising to see it so weak on this T side, and Renegades have just been destroying them. Nifty's ready up on the car, but this time he can't drive into first gear. He's going to be sent back. Second opportunity does land himself one. With the flash over high, Renegades might just focus on long because they have 2 players there trying to shut down the split. Nifty just shutting down the site, and his second kill coming through. Tabson's cowering below, hiding from him, but he does finally get the trade. However, will it be too late?
Well, Tabson's going to be allowed to get the bomb down, but the retake's starting to come through. JKS waits down here in mid, and Tabson's look like the Brisbane of their existence right now inside of the A-bomb site. He's tucked on down. I'll be rotating on in, but coming up from long, going to be Azza. Melbourne in the fire and flames. He's going to look to try and make this work, pushing into the bomb site. Tagged down by Godby, though this flank from short has worked brilliantly. It's JKS left in a 1v3, and he has not moved from mid. Stuck in place. He just has to give this one up. Big going to find a 13th. The real issue right now is Nifty with that $12,000. He's the bank of Renegades and also the tank of Renegades by the look of things. There was a time we were saying he's had a very, very quiet half. I think we were about 10 rounds in and he had 5 kills. Now he's joint first with JKS, 23 frags to his name. He has come alive in the latter stages of this game. Jacob, still pretty quiet. Ustilo's had a great recovery. It's you know, the core 4, the long-term stand-in for Renegades struggling a little bit here. Big going to be buying down what they can. Or over on the side of God B, reasoning once again for him to have it if you're scratching ahead as he has the spawn for long here. Dust2, very spawn-based map. He's going to look to try and find this first frag on a Ustilo on the back of it. Flashes go in. God B, missed shot. Now you likely see him swap that AWP back with Smooya.
Oh, have they seen Nifty? Tabson's just in lower, but he's just missed ahead of him. If Nifty stands up to retreat back, Tabson might be able to catch him, but he's just turned away. Big have no idea, but Smooya's 1 step ahead. He's seen him. Nifty repositioning, and we now may wait for Tabson, but no, Nifty waits for no one. He just flicks up to the head of Smooya. I'm so surprised Tabson didn't try and take that duel instead, considering Nifty had no idea he was there and had already spotted the AWPer of the T side. But Nifty's not done just yet. Second kill coming up on short. This man has made this half a reality, and Renegades might be able to close it here and now with a 2-man advantage.
Oh, Big. They've tried hard to start to pull this back. They were fighting a winning battle, and then things quickly turned sour. Now they find themselves 2 men down. It's Smooya and Godby. Godby, the IGL, having to lead this from beyond the grave, putting all his faith in his teammates. As Tabson pushes down through short, Nifty going to be holding the cross from long. One round is all Renegades need to close out this first map, and Nifty certainly wants to take them there. His third kill will be promptly traded by Tabson. 2 versus 4, the bomb going to go down. It's planted for short. Tizian will just look to take up position here. No smoke for Renegades. They have to be quick if they want to find these kills. Big have been very good in the after plant. Renegades, this rotation in, taking its time. Tizian waits. There's 3 players about to come his way. He's really going to be tested. Misses the opener, goes for the spray, only manages 1. And now it's Tabson in a 1v3. Finds the first on Ustillo. 2 more players pushing down short. They're already up and past in. Tabson finds the first frag, and now he just needs to find JKS, who taps on that bomb. Tabson in with the peek. JKS going to find it as he clutches it out in the 1v1 at the very end. There's just enough time left. Renegades, they will be closing out this first map over on Dust2, 16-13. And that's going to be them moving up 1-0 in the series as they win out on Big's map pick.
And what an ungodly game from Nifty there. We talked about how slow he was to start. It was the first few rounds where he didn't have that ult, where we were like, uh-oh, this is not a good start for Nifty. He's a very confidence-based player. He needs to kick things off well. And then he just comes in swinging. Punches left and right. So much aggression on that CT side. Winning every duel versus Smooya. He only died once or twice to him the entire game. And yeah, Nifty just wrecking Smooya. And I think that seems to be a recurring problem that we're seeing now, because Smooya seems to be very good, but in AWP-to-AWP battles, he's not always finding success, even on Dust2, where you'd feel like he'd be far more comfortable. It's killing rifling players where he has a lot of success, but up against AWPs, he's feeling the pain, and Big definitely are as well. Their map pick gone.
Yeah, I mean, it was a slow start as well from Renegades when you think about it. A 7-1 lead for Big. Things look so good, but then slowly but surely they started to iron out the creases. You know, Nifty, I could do with some help with that as well. Our hotel didn't have an iron in it, which was just fantastic. But yeah. We're going to go ahead and throw this one over to a break. We'll be back after a short commercial with map number 2, so be sure to stick around.
ESL One Cologne.
Incendiary out.